Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of This Witch is Viral. This month, I have special guest Whitney. She is an evidential psychic medium. And well, you wear many different hats, right? So, welcome to This Witch is Viral. Thank you so much for coming. We're very happy to have you. How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, well, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. And it's very cool too because Marie and I are actually both evidential psychic mediums. And well, you do, like I said, wear a few different hats, which we will get to later on in the show. But I wanted to kind of focus first on the evidential psychic medium part and just what that is exactly.
So, for me, when I do a readings, I try to give as much evidence as possible when I'm doing the reading. So, I describe what the person looks like that's coming through. I'll describe what they're wearing sometimes. I'll describe their house or where they live, just anything that is evidence so that they know exactly who it is that's coming through.
So, and with that, so clairvoyance. So clairvoyance is to see. So what you're describing right now is to see, but there's also other different clairs. And we had chatted a little bit before I hit that record button about how
Mhm.
other clairs come through as well. So you clairsentience, which is to feel, feeling everything. And you had also mentioned
Mhm.
clairaudience, so to hear.
Right. Yes.
So when you do your readings, it's just a mixture of things that come through. Is that correct?
It is. It is. My strongest sense is the feeling. I always tell my clients that the Kleenex box is for both of us, not uncommon for me to cry during a reading. So,
For sure, for sure.
mhm.
So I know that there's a lot of people, and I get this with my own readings, and there's people that are hesitant or maybe unbelieving or distrustful, which I do understand to a point because, like any field at all, there's
Mhm.
always shitty psychic mediums that are not, putting their best foot forward. Along with, there's shitty doctors and shitty other things too. Not to call it the doctors. There's a lot of good ones as well. But
Exactly. Yeah.
what would you say to, somebody that books a reading online and is like, oh, can't you just go through my Facebook profile?
Yeah. So I do a lot of my readings through Facebook video chat. I've only had a couple people ask me that if I go through their Facebook profile. I do not. I do not. It would totally screw up the reading to do that.
Exactly.
Um, But no, I usually just tell people, listen, like just listen to what I have to say at the end of it if you have any questions. Usually by the time they get to the end, the skeptic is, I can't speak it, say
No,
it.
no, but
That's
it's
just
true. They become more
right.
trustful and understanding. When you're
Mhm.
doing a reading, I mean, even if I don't either go through Facebook profiles or, do a
Yeah.
bunch of research online because I want a clean slate. So I understand what you're
Mhm.
saying about it can screw up the reading.
Oh,
I
for
want
sure.
to be able to sit down with that person. So typically what I ask for is just their first name. I don't need your last name. I don't need your email, your whatever it is.
Mhm.
I just want your first name because then that just kind of gives me that reference point to start channeling. So
Right.
I don't know, do you use paper as well when you do your
I
readings?
don't. I don't use
No,
paper.
okay.
No.
Okay. So when I do my readings, I scribble like crazy and I was using black pen. And then I remember one time one of my clients was like, "Oh, my future looks so bright." And I'm like, "Ooh, yeah, because it's black, the whole thing." Because it's incredible what comes out. But that I just use to focus, right?
Right.
And to channel. And that's kind of how I do it with my mainly with my clairvoyance and my clairsentience. So, you know, it's hard to explain. Like when you were doing a reading, things just pop up. It's not, I don't know how to explain. Like even if you were to look at a Facebook profile, it doesn't really help anyways. It's hard to kind of explain unless you're
No.
in it. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
yeah. So
Yeah,
um,
no.
yeah, it's a very odd thing. But I do understand how there's also people that are out there scamming people and doing that sort of thing. But I would say if you are going to get a reading, then another good thing, well, I know I offered this is a guaranteed reading. So if nothing's connecting in the first few minutes as it should, then I can give the money back or whatever. I just do that
Yeah,
guarantee.
yeah,
Because I'm sure much like yourself, like we all want to be happy and we want to feel good with our readings, right?
exactly.
So,
Exactly. Yeah, I also do that. If in the first 10 minutes I'm not getting anything, I'm just like, I'm sorry. Like
yeah,
it's not going to
exactly.
work. There's no charge.
No, exactly. Yeah, and which is a green flag for psychics for sure.
hmm
So yeah. So when you do your readings, so you do them mainly online then?
Uh, I do them mainly online. I do mini readings at the Mojave Flea Market in Morrisburg on
Okay.
Sundays. And but yeah, mostly online.
Okay. And then you also do lives every
I do
week.
live.
And I don't know
Well,
how you do this because you had me on as a guest and oh my goodness, that was scary. I don't know why. It's funny. I have a podcast and I love doing readings one to one, but it was a whole different, like getting me out of my comfort zone. So tell me about that. Tell me all about that.
I don't, it's kind of like it's a totally different way of doing readings.
Yeah.
Like when you're sitting down, you're doing a half-hour reading or a 1 hour reading, you're focused, you're getting all kinds of information to piece together. Whereas when you're doing the live, it's just like bam, 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 question, question, question.
Right.
And you have like a couple minutes to try to get the
Yeah.
information. So yeah, it's a different way of doing readings for
So,
sure.
so what makes you want to do that? I'm wondering because I'm thinking about doing it myself, maybe once a month, but it's one of those things on my to-do list, and I just keep. I think I'm just nervous to do it. I don't know. It
Yeah,
just,
you,
yeah,
you get used to it. You get used to it. I think it's the connection with the people.
yeah,
It is the main
yeah.
reason I do it. So I was doing it every week. I do it every second Tuesday now. I'll be on this
Okay,
Tuesday. Yeah, so I'll be on this Tuesday with it. But yeah, it's just the connection with the people. And sometimes, we're just chit-chatting. You just feel closer. You just
yeah,
feel
that
closer.
makes sense. I know it's something I definitely have thought a lot about, and I still remember. I'm pretty sure we did it. It was over 2 years ago, and I'm pretty sure it was on March 18th. And I still that the March that just passed, I'm like, I remember what I was doing a year ago. I don't know. It's one of those things. I guess as you go, you kind of grow, and it's one of those things that's always in the back of my mind. But yeah, that is like a big thing. So I commend you on that because
Oh, thanks.
yeah,
I love doing it. I love doing it,
yeah,
but
no,
it is
that's
a totally different way of doing readings for sure.
oh, for sure, for sure. Yeah. So how long have you been doing readings? It's been, and we can kind of chat
So,
about how we met as well.
yes.
Yeah.
So we met, of course, through Matthew.
Yep. Matthew
Through
Stapley.
Matthew. Yes, we both took his course at the same time, both courses
Yep.
actually at the same time. Uh, so yeah, that's how we met. And then through Carrie after that at Pure Lotus, then we were
Yep.
both working from there. So yeah, kind of in the same zone. And yeah,
So
anyway,
did
I
you
forgot
always
where I
know
was
you?
going with
Oh,
it.
sorry. Oh,
Oh,
I was
did I
just,
always know?
yeah. Did you always know you were a psychic medium? Were you one of those kids
I
that played with ghosts?
no, no, but I was one of those kids that was super, super sensitive and picked up
Mm,
everybody's feelings. I always knew if somebody was sad or depressed or like no matter how much they tried to hide it. Then when I was 18, I dabbled with tarot cards
okay.
and couldn't learn them for the life of me. I have no memory, so I couldn't learn them. And life continued. And then it wasn't until actually it was 6 years ago, my mom and my brother passed away very close together.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And I was going to other mediums trying to get the closure that I needed. And that was when I said, I want to be able to help people the same way they've helped me. So
Yeah.
that's what
Wow.
brought it all to a head.
Oh, that's incredible. So
Mhm.
would you say that everybody is psychic?
Absolutely.
Yeah, me too. I
Mhm.
know because a lot of
Yeah.
people I get this a lot where it's like, how did you become psychic? I'm like, well, you're psychic too.
Yeah.
It's literally a skill set that you have to work on. I always tell my clients, it's like going to the gym. You can't go to the gym once and expect big biceps or whatever you want to do, right? You
Exactly.
have to be consistent. You have to work on it. Um,
Hmm.
so see, and I'm a believer too, for myself, this is my personal opinion that we're all psychic, but not everybody is necessarily a psychic medium, although everybody has the ability to connect with their own families.
Yes.
But that's
Yeah.
kind of where we come into, is to give that, sometimes that validation. I'm sure during readings you've probably had people go, oh my gosh, I know exactly what you're talking about, that's what I thought, or
Mhm.
that kind of thing, which is a really neat and rewarding place to be. I think as a psychic, it really feels like you're making a
Mhm.
difference in these people's lives.
Right.
So do you have any highlights of any of your readings to share,
Oh, oh
or
God.
anything
My
surprising or
favorite,
shocking?
yeah, my favorite readings. My daughter says I'm mad, but that I'm mean. My favorite readings are the emotional readings,
Mm-hmm.
and they're usually emotional for them and myself. But the reason they're my favorite is I know I've connected to the
Exactly.
person that they need to connect to. Like,
Exactly.
so they're my favorites. But I just wanted to mention, because you were saying about practicing, and as we practice, like over the years, how you and I have developed and kept practicing, one of the things I notice is not only do I see spirits all over the place, the shadows all over the place,
Mm-hmm.
I have a spirit that lives in my basement called George. And I don't know how many times now I have walked down and seen him like laying back in the recliner in my
Oh,
rec room.
wow.
It's so
Really?
cool. So
That
cool. Yeah,
is
I just
really cool.
him the other day. Yeah.
That's wild. So,
Hmm.
so do you think he has something to do with the house, or
Yeah,
do you
yeah.
think
We
it's
actually
a
looked.
recliner?
No, we looked it up. We looked it up. He was actually the very first owner of this house.
Really?
I've
Oh,
had like
wow.
in-depth conversations with him. He's so cool.
That's so crazy. That's wild. That's so cool, though. Do you know any of
Hmm.
his family at all, or like, or
Well,
is there any?
I
Yeah.
don't know them, but okay. So when I'm having my conversation with midair, so what other people think I'm doing,
Yeah.
he told me about his daughter. He told me about his wife. He told me
Oh,
like
wow.
all kinds of things. And he was scaring, like my grandkids were scared when they were down there. And I said to him, like, George, you can't scare the kids. And
Yeah.
he felt so bad. And he was like almost crying, saying, oh, I'm so sorry. And now the kids like see him and they're not scared. And
Oh,
yeah,
wow. That's
the coolest
incredible.
thing.
That's
Yeah.
amazing. So do you,
Hmm.
when you do, so just going to the readings again, when you do your readings, do you set kind of the intention of only connecting to good, or only connecting to, or do you just, whatever comes through comes through?
So when I connect to spirit, I always say that I'm trying to get anything that is helpful and beneficial for the
Yeah.
client to know.
Yeah.
I always
Yeah.
use those words.
That's what I do too. I'll do my intention, and then I do, I'll call in my spirit guides, angels, and loved ones, and then set the
Mhm.
intention of anything coming through is for my client's highest purpose. That being said, I've had spirits come through or try to come through that my client does not want to talk to, and they've
Mm.
literally told me,
Mhm.
"Can you please tell her to fuck right off?" I'm
Yep,
like, "This
yep,
is this is different," but it does
yeah.
happen.
Oh, it does
Much
happen.
much like when you do readings, boundaries are so important, and you really have
Mhm.
to put boundaries in place. And that, if you ever want to dabble, if anyone ever wants to dabble in this world, then putting boundaries up and shielding and all of that is
I was
so
gonna say,
important. Yeah, truly.
one of the things that happened to me, Nina, was um, I had this one spirit. I had done his whole family for readings, and he had obviously he had passed away, and he was like used to me, I guess, because he had came through so many
Yeah.
times. And the one time I was reading, and I felt him enter in the back of my neck.
What, like the hair on the back of your neck
Excuse me.
just,
And yeah, I got down about part way, and I just kind of went, nope. Like I will pass on whatever messages you want, but you can't do
yeah,
that.
yeah.
But yeah, so grounding, having protection, very important.
Oh, absolutely. All of that. And every single time. And also cutting cords at the end is so
Mhm.
important as well, because you don't want a bunch of people running around your house. I know, been there, done that,
Yeah.
still do
And
that.
yes. And I
I
don't
have,
know about you, but I forget to cut cords and I'm zapped. And it'll be
yeah,
like, why do I feel so crappy?
I
And
know,
it's
it's
like, oh, I know
crazy.
why.
Yeah, it's so true. I find
Yeah.
too, after I do an all day event as well, or even some of the heavier readings, I find
Hmm.
if I'm doing readings where I find if it's like children that have passed or a child,
Mm. Yes.
or somebody has, had an overdose or committed suicide, like when it's heavier like that, or I've had people come through for their loved ones that have been murdered, sadly. I find some of
Yeah.
that is really hard.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
so important. That's also where self-care comes in too, right? You really need to, and back to boundaries as well. You really need to like be able to take that time. You have to.
Mhm.
I remember, well, going back to Carrie from Pure Lotus Wellness Retreat, her saying the next day it's like a spiritual hangover. It can be, and
Mhm.
it's so true,
Exactly. Oh,
so true.
absolutely.
Yeah. Um, but yeah, I don't know. It's a really interesting way of life. You probably get questions all the time. What I still haven't quite figured out is, so I'm sure you have this too, where spirits will randomly pop up and
Mhm.
want to talk to you. And
Mhm.
like, what do you do with that information? So, for example, going back to George, like, what do
Yes.
you do with that? Because if you're not, in close with the family, I just find I can't imagine going up to somebody randomly and knocking on their door or whatever and being like, "Oh, hey, your dad's in my basement, and he just wants to let you know that you have to, I don't know, change your tires or something, whatever. I don't know.
What else?
So, what do you
Yeah.
do with that?
Yeah. Well, with George, I don't know, George has been here since I've been here, since I bought the house like 15 years ago.
Oh, wow,
So
he's
I'm just
comfy.
comfortable with, yeah, like he's just one of the family now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
I don't have anything with like he doesn't tell me to go tell people
Oh, that's
stuff
good.
or anything like that. Yeah, he
Yeah,
just talks to me about his life that he had
that's
and
incredible.
what he did
Yeah.
and stuff. Yeah.
See, I get the whole people coming through and wanting me to give messages to their loved ones. So it was suggested to me from another psychic to just say, listen, I can't help you in this moment, but when your person or send your person to come see me,
Yes.
and then we can relay this message because it's the same thing. I would love to start working on missing persons cases,
Hmm.
but then that, what if you find somebody and then all of a sudden, I don't know how the police react to that. Who knows? I know some people that have done that kind of thing. I just find that there's certain little dicey areas with this whole
There,
thing.
there,
Yeah. Yeah.
there is.
I know, right? But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
certainly very rewarding though, for sure. I'm
Yeah,
taking
there
my
is.
notes
There
off
was a
here.
woman last year who had lost her brother and they couldn't find her brother. And I know she had a lot of psychics that had contacted her and said different things. I was one of them that had contacted
Hmm.
her because stuff came through. And I'm like, well, I have to tell her. So in that
Hmm.
case, I did. And she said it was very similar to what the other psychics have been telling me.
Yeah,
But yeah, it's a different ball game. That's
it
not
is
something I
totally.
want to
Yeah, see, that's like
do.
for me, it's like that and doing lives are both two things that I would like to start doing, but I need to kind of get out of my own way a little bit. Um, yeah, because they're both, they give me that feeling.
You know, Nina, I think you're like me, and we sit here and we think we have okay, we have these choices. We want to do this. I had mentioned I want to do NDEs later, like that kind of stuff. But
Yeah.
then things get in the way. But then
Yes,
we don't really have a choice because if we're meant to do it, the universe is going to push us in that direction to do it
exactly.
anyway.
Exactly.
It's going to
Exactly.
happen.
No, absolutely. And I think so on that note too, for anybody that started where we did taking Matthew Stapley's courses, you know, I remember when I did my first event and I was really nervous and anxious and all these things, but I had some wonderful people supporting me, including Matthew. And my first event was my first big event of like several readings was at Carrie's at Pure Lotus. This was several years back now. But do you have any advice for people that, feel that they have the gift? Well, everybody has the gift, but,
Mhm.
have the gift or feel they're psychic and want to kind of dabble in this world?
Well, I think again, like you said earlier, it's just practice, practice, practice. Like
Yeah.
the more you do it, the more stuff comes through, the more stuff I've even found like when I first started doing it, and the first year my readings were kind of like this. And then all of a sudden it was just like boom, and they expanded.
Yeah. Yep.
And then a couple more years go by, and then boom, and it expands. Like
Yep.
it's
Yeah.
almost like in tears. Yeah.
I know, and it's crazy too. Have you ever had anything during a reading kind of surprise or shock you where you're just like, holy crap, like something came through?
Yes.
Yeah, yeah. So I get that sometimes with like I'll see color quite
Hmm.
often. So just being able to describe like the color of stuff. And yeah, I've had that sort of thing happen quite a few times. Or spirit will take you. I don't know if you do remote viewing at all, but they'll bring me like right into the person's kitchen and I'm
Hmm.
describing the kitchen to them. And I'm, I
Yeah.
remember one, I was seeing daffodils out of the window. I'm like, I'm in your kitchen. On this side is this. The lady's like,
Yeah.
that's my kitchen. You are in my kitchen. I'm like, this is
Yeah.
crazy. But
I know.
it's wild. Yeah, totally. It's wild. I would say too, the other thing is as humans, I feel, and probably even as women, we overanalyze and get in our own way. So you just start, you just do it.
Yeah.
That would be my piece of advice to anybody wanting to become an evidential psychic medium is you have to start somewhere, much like anything else. So just kind of getting out of your own way. Earlier when I introduced you, I also said that you wore many hats. So the other thing, so you do hypnosis. So can we talk about that for a minute?
Sure. So yeah, I've been a certified hypnotherapist for, oh my God, 30 years, I guess.
Oh, wow.
And I do a few different things with hypnosis. I do I call it regular hypnosis, where you quit smoking, weight loss, fears and phobias, the basic hypnosis things. But then I also do past life regression, which is a 2 hour session where I take people back to past lives and they tell me, it's like you're there living it. They
Yeah.
tell me what they're going through. And I also do connecting with past loved ones, which is also a 2 hour session. And I take them
Wow.
back and they're actually sitting with their past loved ones and having conversations. And
That's so wild. That's so cool.
yeah,
So it's kind of a
yeah.
merger of both worlds then
Hmm.
really, right? With that. I didn't realize that you had done that for so long. I had no idea.
Hmm.
But that's
Yeah.
really cool. I love when that kind of thing happens and you're able to kind of overlap things. Much like
Yeah.
this podcast, that I started a few years back is
Right.
me interviewing, I call it, soulpreneurs or spiritual,
Hmm.
that kind of
Yeah.
thing, and just bringing
Yeah.
awareness to this whole area that a lot of people know nothing about, or maybe people have preconceived opinions about that are not maybe
Mm.
in the best light per se. So
Right. I know
yeah.
one thing, when you said what people should do, one of the things I had the hardest time with when I first started doing readings was believing what came through,
Mm-hmm.
trusting your intuition, trusting that it's spirit
That's
and not just your own head saying, like, what the hell? You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely. No,
yeah.
that is actually really, really good advice because people will say, "Oh, how do you know that's not imaginary?" I'm like, "Well, by the validation you receive, but also
Mm.
too, not everything can be validated on the spot. Sometimes it's things for future." And then I'm sure you have this as well. People will come back a couple months later or whatever it is and say, "You know what? That did happen. I didn't know what you're talking about at
Yeah.
that point, but it did happen." I'm like, okay, all
Mm.
right, I'm onto something here. Okay, we're good. So
Yeah.
I always say nothing with spirit, there's no accidents with spirit. So anything, you set the intention, anything coming through during the reading is for
Hmm.
the person for the reading,
Hmm.
then yeah. And again, it's just trusting, believing in yourself and in spirit. And that's a really, really good point for sure. You also do, let's talk about your events.
Oh, so we have the event coming up right now, which you are involved in.
I am, and I'm
Is
excited. I love these
has
events.
Yeah, the Psychic and Wellness Fair. It's our third one in Kemptville. The community's been amazing. So at this one, we have 51 tables. We have many psychics, many wellness vendors, many different products.
Yeah.
There's like so many products, so many things. We also have Catalyst Catering will be there with her yummy food inside. We have a craft area for kids this time, so the kids can keep busy while mom and grandma are shopping. We have a photo wall for our Mother's Day photos. And we have, what's the name? I'm trying to think of the name of the photographer that's going to be there with us this time.
Oh,
Also,
amazing.
that takes professional pictures for both people that want them and for vendors to have professional mini shots. He's giving us a
Oh,
discount
cool.
rate. Or she, I think I believe it's a woman. So that will be there. The first 50 guests, there's vendor bucks, and they can win between $5 and $50 to spend at the vendor tables.
Wow.
So yeah, I'm really excited. It's gonna be a
It's
good
going to
one.
be incredible. It always is. It's so much fun. It's always really busy. And it's just always an overall really amazing day. And I believe there's proceeds going towards a local
Oh,
animal rescue as
absolutely.
well.
Yes. So yes, we have donations and they will be there. Actually, they will be at the event. So Spencerville TNR Cat Rescue will be there, and then our donation proceeds will all go to them.
Which is amazing. Yeah, they're an
Yeah.
amazing rescue. And I love cats.
I love all animals.
I know. How
It
can
was
you not? I know, right? Exactly. I
hard
know.
to
I'm
pick
the
just
same.
one. Like,
Yeah. So
yeah.
where can we, oh, and I don't know if we said the date, but yeah, Saturday, May 2nd is the date.
Hmm.
And it
Yes.
is, what was the building called that it's in
Okay.
Kemptville?
So it's the W.B. George Center, which is
Okay.
at the Kemptville campus.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Perfect.
directly across from the Kemptville Hospital. You can't miss it.
No, no. And there's
Yeah.
probably going to be signage too, because you've been really good about signage and
There's
advertising and
lots.
all that stuff. Yeah. Which is
Mhm.
amazing. So where can
Mhm.
people find you? On Facebook?
So I am on Facebook under my name, Marie Whitney. I'm also Maria Gal with a Gift, where I do my readings every Tuesday or every second Tuesday now. I have a new website that will be launched in the next day or two. It's just mariewhitney.ca. So
Perfect.
yeah, I'm pretty easy to find.
And you do most of your readings online, or you do events as well, you said, right? And you said earlier
Yeah.
that you go to the, what's it called? The market?
Okay. Mahaffey's Flea Market in Morrisburg.
Okay,
So
right.
I'm there every Sunday unless I have an event, but majority every Sunday. And I do little mini reads,
Yeah.
little mini
Okay.
readings there. Yeah.
Oh, awesome. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I really appreciate it. And that was like so much good information for everybody to hear and to, yeah, I think that was awesome. So thank you so much. I appreciate you
Thanks
taking
for
the
having
time out of
me.
your day to do this. And I look forward to seeing you at the event in person, not in a screen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. In
So
person is always good, always good.
absolutely. So thank you so much, everybody, for checking out the show. Of course, you can find me at the Nina DeBoss podcast on Instagram. And if you're watching this, you're watching it on YouTube. So thanks for checking it out. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. And the next one will be with Jules and I. How do you like us now? Will come out May 14th, Thursday, May 14th. And then this, which is viral, the next episode will be on the 21st of May. I think I have all my dates correct. If not, just check out my pages on Facebook, Instagram, and of course, YouTube. Thanks so much, everybody. Take care. Thank you. And now I have to find the record button. There we go. Stop recording. Okay.